Alright, so a couple of draft reactions from tonight. So, we had a very interesting draft. We had a couple of players taken who's very good, a couple of players people probably don't know about. So, I'm going to just talk about a few of the draft picks that I want to touch on. So, first things first, Anthony Edwards to the Wolves. I feel like it's a very good pick. I feel like that's a fit that's right away for the Wolves because the Wolves need a wing player and Edwards fits right in and he can score the basketball. He has good size, 6'4", 6'5". He can attack the basket. He'll fit very well with D'Lo and he'll fit with Cat. Two good players who can shoot the ball and proven all stars, and Edwards immediately can make an impact on that team because the Wolves need some help. They're very short at the guard position, and it was an obvious pick for them. Like I didn't think it was either him or LaMelo Ball going to the Wolves, and LaMelo wasn't the right fit to me because they already have D'Angelo Russell. So, second pick to the Warriors, James Wiseman, perfect fit. I've been saying this all year. If the Warriors get a top pick, they have to pick Wiseman. They have to pick him. And basically because the Warriors always missing that big man presence. And they had DeMarcus Cousins. He's in and out the lineup. He was hurt, but Cousins was a good fit for them, but at the end of the day, he got hurt, moved on, and Cousins is not the shot blocking presence. Probably like Wiseman. Wiseman 7'1", 7'4" wingspan, and he can shoot the ball. He has good post moves. He could be a solid impact player for them for the Warriors right away. And with Clay potentially being hurt, Wiseman will probably get more touches. Steph will look for him more. Draymond is also a good passer, so that it makes sense for him to go to the Warriors. And 7 feet. The Warriors. That's a good pickup for them. They need size. They've been playing the small ball game for a while. Had Kevon Looney, who's not very tall. Jordan Bell, who didn't really work out well for them. And at times they was playing Draymond Green at center. Before they had Bogut. Bogut was really good for them. And JaVale McGee was really good for them. So think of, you could think of like kind of how JaVale McGee and Andrew Bogut was for the Warriors back in the day. And think about what Wiseman can do, because Wiseman has probably more offensive game than those two. But he's also taller and he's active. So I think it's going to be a really good situation for him. LaMelo Ball went to the Hornets. Me personally, I wanted him to go to the Knicks. It didn't work out that way. And I figured out a long time ago, I'm like, all right, LaMelo's too good. He's not going to go. He's not going to go out the top 3 or top 4. Like, I was like, if the Hornets don't take him, he's going to go to the Bulls for sure. So him going to the Hornets, it made. I'm not too sure if it made sense because it's like, all right, they have Rozier, who they just signed last year, and they had Devontae Graham, who just had a breakout year. So it's like, all right, how is this going to work? Because are they going to decide to do a 3-guard rotation with them, or like probably throw Melo just have them all play together at the 3, because LaMelo's 6'7", like he could be kind of like a point forward. So that's kind of it was weird to see them draft him. But to me, he's the best player in the draft, most potential. But it was just kind of weird to see that was their pick. I feel like they could have went with like big man, like Obi Toppin, somebody else, but you know, it's all good. So Obi Toppin goes to the Knicks. That's what I was really hype about. I was like, all right, the Knicks need to do something. They need to do something. They need somebody who can make an impact on this team right away. So I wanted them to get a point guard, but you know, it made sense to get Obi Toppin. I wanted to see Cole Anthony or Tyrese Halliburton because we need a point guard. Knicks desperately need a point guard. But with them drafting Obi Toppin, maybe this will make Julius Randle more expendable, and they can flip him for something. Hopefully, Westbrook. Hopefully, they trade Randle, maybe a draft pick for Westbrook. And the thing with Toppin, for me, he's been compared to Amari Stoudemire, but he has more of an Amari game in New York when Amari was on the Knicks. He has a little jumper. He can shoot the three ball. He can run the floor. He's very athletic. He's Showtime. You know, he like windmill dunks between the legs, all that stuff. But I think he can fit in today's NBA because of how he moves around the floor, and he'll be able to translate right away. But the one thing about it is the Knicks do need a point guard to help him get the ball. And it would make sense if they get Westbrook and Toppin. That's gonna be something to watch. But we have to see what happens with them, because at the end of the day, the Knicks need help desperately. Next pick I want to talk about is Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony fell out the draft a bit because of the injury he had in college. But he fell to Orlando. And that didn't make sense to me because they already have Markelle Fultz, who's coming off a decent year, all the adversity he was going through, and then he started to break out with the Magic. So it didn't make sense for them to draft a point guard. They still have Evan Fournier, proven scorer, he's a good player. So now, where is Cole Anthony going to fit on that roster? If they decide to play, Markelle Fultz and Cole Anthony together, that would make sense. But, they have to, maybe Evan Fournier is expendable now, he's tradable. Maybe a lot of teams will be asking for him. Possibly. We have to see how that works out for the Magic. I feel like they might have to, start rebuilding. Maybe we could flip Vucevic for something. Maybe some future draft picks and a young star. And Aaron Gordon, I don't know what's going on with Aaron Gordon. I feel like he should have been better by now. But maybe I know he's been in trade talks, but we have to see how the Magic pins this out, because this is a little confusing to me. Last pick I want to talk about, or the last transaction I should say, Josh Richardson for Seth Curry and Al Horford for Danny Green. So we all know, Danny Green got traded to OKC, and Josh Richardson, he's a decent player, 3-and-D guy, but the thing about the Sixers, they needed more proven shooters, knockdown shooters. Richardson's okay shooter, like probably 34%, 35%, but you get Seth Curry, 40% shooter. You get Danny Green, who he struggled last year, but we know Danny Green is a capable shooter on any given night. Horford didn't really fit well within the Sixers system with Embiid and Ben Simmons, because shooting wise, Horford can shoot a bit, Embiid can shoot a bit. Ben Simmons, they'll deal with Ben Simmons. So it didn't fit as it should have when they signed him, when they thought they signed him, what they thought it was going to happen. So to get Green and, flip that for Seth Curry, two good shooters. So I kind of like what Daryl Morey's doing right now. I'm not too sure if they would be able to get James Harden, but I like what the Sixers are starting to do. I feel like they're starting, trying to put shooters around Ben and Joel Embiid, because they have logjam problems. They're not great shooters, so they need more shooters to spread the floor. Think about when the Sixers lost to the Raptors. They had J.J. Redick, they had Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler. All these are good shooters. Jimmy Butler, not too much, but Jimmy, you could plug him anywhere, he's going to make an impact. And they had Bellinelli at that time. I believe they still had Ilyasova. They had shooters on that team, and that's when that was when they was actually at their best, because then Ben is able to distribute the ball to the shooters, and B will have more space to work on the block. So it makes perfect sense why they're getting these shooters now. So with that being said, I feel like the teams that really won the draft are the Hornets, even though I'm still kind of confused about the fit, but it's LaMelo Ball. He has all the potential in the world. Edwards to the Wolves and Wiseman to the Warriors. I feel like those teams really, those are the teams that really won the draft. Knicks, not too sure about yet. I'm rooting for them, but we shall see what happens when the time comes around for the season to start.